Well, it's been a rather volatile day of trade, but the good news is that the benchmark indices have closed in the green. Hello and welcome. This is the Market Trap. I am Agam Vakil. With the Nifty advancing by 73 points, it has snapped a 9-day losing streak, and that can be taken as a positive considering some amount of respite coming in for traders, and the Nifty now closing above the mark of 11,220. Well, we have Indiabulls Housing Finance leading the gains, followed by Bharti Airtel and Sun Pharma. Let's not forget Vedanta, GAIL India and IndusInd Bank also advancing, and the momentum to a certain extent is towards the gainers. Tech Mahindra, TCS along with Bajaj Finance showing some weakness, but today the weakness is not as much as what we saw in some of these stocks yesterday. Let's move on and talk about your broader markets too. We have 3 gainers for 2 losers, so while quite an opposing trend as far as the advance decline ratio is concerned. We have Minda Corp advancing by 14.5%, DCM, Shriram and Delta Corp also up and about in trade. Praj Industries, ITC Cementation and BHEL all advancing in trade. So a lot of strength coming in, and of course Jet Airways continues to reel under pressure. We have Sterlite Technologies and Steel Authority of India along with Oberoi Realty, which is also looking at just a little bit of decline. But we must address and remember that at this point in time, even though we are looking at some amount of volatility in the global markets, well, there is also the case where foreign institutions are continuing to sell. India Volatility Index remains high, and we also must remember the fact that we are just 9 days from the results of the general elections, with the last of a couple of phases out of the way. We're going to have to wait and watch as to where the markets move from here onwards. What we will also know eventually is whether or not today's move is about a short covering, or will that be a substantial up move which may lead to strength. So that's as far as the markets are concerned, but let's talk about a bunch of stocks, starting off with Siemens. Now Siemens has actually is looking at some amount of traction, and I am going to get in Yatin Mota to talk to us about that. Yatin, what are the updates on Siemens now? What's going on?
They announced their quarterly earnings which were quite strong versus the street expectations. Now if you look at Siemens, the profit increase was nearly 28% on a year-on-year basis, as far as this quarter is concerned. And more importantly, if you look at the order inflow, we have seen that the order inflow has also picked up substantially as far as Siemens is concerned. This time around, as far as Siemens is concerned, the order inflow or the total order book was at a 6-year high. So that is the kind of profitability and order growth that we have seen for Siemens. In fact, if you look at the new orders reported in the quarter, that stood at 3,635 crores. That is a growth of nearly 24%. Of course, the CEO in the press release also mentioned the fact that our short cycle businesses did exceptionally well in this quarter, and we are witnessing an acceleration as far as their digitization portfolio is concerned. So a good amount of pickup as far as Siemens is concerned. The stock closed at the day's high, and clearly we will wait for the analyst commentary also as to what do they make out of the earnings. Probably we could see some rating revision or some earnings upgrade for Siemens moving forward. Okay,
Yatin, thanks for getting us those details on Siemens, so watch out for that. And let's also get in Sharad Dubey to talk about 2 other stocks that have made on his radar. Sharad?
Well, Agam, yes, I think the first stock we have picked up is Polycab, which came out with a decent set of top line numbers, but I would like to say the bottom line numbers were really impacted, and they also missed the margins estimates. So now if you see how the stock reacted post the results, earnings came, the stock was at almost as high as almost 660 rupees, but ended at around 632 odd rupees. The project costs have also gone up by almost 3 times to around 128 crore rupees for Polycab, and for its wire and cable segment, the revenues went up by 13 odd %. And the second stock we are having is Gateway Distriparks, which came out with a good set of numbers, and this was mainly because of an exceptional gain of around 280 odd crore rupees has actually boosted the bottom line numbers, and the stock went up as high as 6%. If you see the top line grew by almost 17%, and the bottom line was almost up by almost 9 times to around 300 crores. And basically, all in all, the margins did reduce by around 300 points based on the higher raw material cost. So I can say that these 2 stocks were actually there in the mid-cap space buzzing. One stock went in very positive, the other went in negative.
Okay, Sharat, thank you for getting us those details. So, well, two other stocks to watch out for, and on the whole, a positive day after a really long time, and something that well, traders can take home. On that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint.